Today, we want to jump into a topic that I am very passionate about. There's so much noise about your health, where to invest, what strategy to use, what pathway to pick, what worked for someone on social media, your bestie. We're all different. And so what I'm finding is that people are taking time, waking up 1, 2 in the morning, shopping online, making sure that they can buy the next best thing. This one's for you. It's going to address a concern maybe you have. Red cheeks, weight loss resistance, can't sleep at night, maybe not moving your bowels as well. That thing's for me. And so we shop, we buy, we spend hundreds, if not thousands, hoping that we're going to get the outcome that we're looking for. And then these things disappoint us over and over and over again. They may not actually have a complication to them, but we can't see a result that makes us confident that it's working for us in the first place. Today, we're going to dive deep into that. Let's get started. When you've made all the investments and it hasn't come to the outcome you're looking for, I understand the disappointment that can happen with this. And that's why when people are making the recommendation in the office to dive into these options of investing further, we understand why there can be some resistance. We don't want to give you another opportunity of guesswork. We want to make sure that you are confident to know that this is going to tell you exactly what your body needs. Not just buy another product. We actually tell you to slow down, to wait, not to buy the product yet. Let's figure out these answers based on science and you as an individual, not what your family member needs, not what the coworker at work has, and not what someone else is doing. Everyone is different. Our lifestyles are different. Our whole medical history is different. How we've grown up, what we need, and our starting point are all various. And so we want to make sure that we are getting you started, no waste, just strategy, and then moving from there with where you need to implement what products and in what order. We may actually go back to using some of the things that you enjoy in your day-to-day life, but having strategy and information that supports it. Most people don't start with testing. We're here with guesswork, buying the supplement, getting the next cool thing that's trending. It's grabbed our attention. But why this is an issue is because we don't have strategy around it. We're addressing symptoms, not root cause problems. Being proactive has not come to fruition yet. I'm still working on it. We want to make sure we can help people prevent. But for now, I see people coming in, weight loss resistance, brain fog, low libido, all of these symptoms of skin rashes, concerns, bloating, gas, poor digestion, poor sleep. These are what drive the person to be confident in, I do need more support. And can we get some labs or can you help me in some way? But they haven't started there. They've had huge, significant efforts and opportunities where they have tried to fix it on their own. This is exactly why we start with labs at Powell Studio. This builds confidence. It makes it so easy as a provider to say the plan we have in place is what's going to work for you. When we hit a hiccup or if you have a challenge, it's like, okay, my scale went up a pound before it comes back down 5. I know confidently that I can make a recommendation to you that we are on the right path. I can cheer you on. I can coach you and make sure that we are getting the deliverable outcome that you're trying to achieve. This is data. It's science. It's not my opinion. What makes this opportunity of Tier 1, Tier 2 labs even more powerful is that we're not just taking the science and the data, but we're combining them with medical intake forms. We're looking at timelines and symptoms. We want to compare both and combine both the symptoms that the patient is experiencing with the data we're receiving. This allows for us to make thoughtful recommendations. Is this something acute? Did you just have a baby? Do you have an incident, a surgery, something that this symptom or these problems have just started for you? Or are you someone who needed chronic antibiotics as a toddler, have fought off gut issues for years, and maybe have something that's more complicated and may take a little bit longer in the healing department before we can thrive in those maintaining areas? These labs give us an opportunity to give the patient something they've maybe never experienced before. They're looking for answers. They're looking to feel heard and seen. They're having these symptoms. They're real. But in many standard healthcare spaces, we can't identify the problem. We can only address the symptoms. When we complete these labs, we finish with a thoughtful intake and an opportunity to review them together. This breaks down what blood work, what testing, what area of the body it's affecting, how we came up with the answers, and how we can have a thoughtful treatment plan of services that we can incorporate individually at home that you can do, and then what we can support you with in the office. In our Tier 1 lab panel, I'm actually looking at the list of labs here to remember everything that's incorporated. We're picking this for the person who's overall healthy, but is feeling like things are starting to change. We're looking at inflammatory markers. We want to make sure our thyroid is supported. Are we deficient in any nutrients and supplements? Maybe the only thing needed. We want to see here if we have any imbalances in allergies that are creating inflammation in the body. How is our cholesterol? Are we efficient in our ability to methylate? Is our gut strong? These are all things that I can get together and organize an answer to when we create our Tier 1 lab pathway as a starting strategy. Typically, what the person who's coming to me that I'm going to make a recommendation for Tier 1 labs is having sleep disturbances. They're in that perimenopause space. They're having bloating, low energy, maybe low libido. An opportunity to create this Tier 1 panel and give them some identifiers has been strategic and excellent in the office. Our Tier 2 lab panel is diving much deeper. There's a reason that we want to do this. That no stone unturned means that we're looking in every area of possibility of why they may have had much longer symptoms that they've been trying to compensate for. We're looking at heavy metals and toxins. We're looking at food allergies. We're looking at a gut GI 360 stool test. We're doing a genetic testing. I'm not looking for your long-lost uncle. I'm looking to see if you have any genes in your body that may impede your ability to receive our interventions properly or may exacerbate something. We want to look to see if you're in this optimal space for our treatment plan to be fully effective. We also incorporate the Tier 1 labs with this, so that's always part of our opportunity. We want to blend all of these different tools together to say, where is the starting point? What do we have to focus on? We need to identify and remove any triggers that we have. We then need to focus on repleting and supporting any nutrients that may be deficient so that we can optimize all of the other areas of healing. And then we are complete with a thoughtful treatment plan as we review them all together and give you the strategy that you need to create those optimal outcomes. When I think about many of the testing that I have done for Tier 2, I think about some of the things that we're going to find in here that are going to help us to navigate what are the identifiers that would impede progress. So are there parasites, leaky gut, lack of absorption, hormonal imbalances? Do you have mycotoxins? We are loaded with microplastics, glyphosates, molds, mercury levels that are impeding or creating an inflammatory response that's chronic. Some people are on this trend of detoxing and they're pushing different things into different tissues and creating more burden on the liver. We want to look at methylation and make sure that that's supported so that you're not building on excess of anything, good or bad. We want to make sure that we're looking at inflammation, because what happens with inflammation is that our receptors are low and your cells can't receive any of the messaging that you're trying to throw at it. So if you're adding more while inflamed, you're just going to create maybe a brief opportunity for, I think this is working, only to say, no, it's not, because your receptors won't receive the message in the first place. These are many things that I think about every patient I have had, like, oh my gosh, I never even knew that that was something that I had going on. And as soon as we can organize the space of how we address that problem, they start to see that improvement they've been looking for years. When I think about my patients, we have faster results. It took me 10 years to navigate all of these areas of opportunity where we can heal the body and we can get it to function on its own. It wants to be healthy and it wants to do all of this without always having to add so much extra. It's just gaining clarity, having strategic strategy, making sure that you feel confident in your next steps. And that clarity, that shortened timeline is something that we can offer, repeatable, guaranteed every single time. For my providers that are thinking about integrating wellness, or for those who have had wellness but haven't built the confidence around what you have to offer yet, these strategies create clarity. They give confidence to both you and the patient to move forward in strategic opportunities for treatment plans and pathways in your own office. Just like many of our episodes, fixing one thing can create another concern. But maintenance becomes easy here because we've addressed everything at the root cause of the problem. We're not band-aiding symptoms anymore, so maintenance becomes easily achieved and maintainable. Have you ever worked with a provider where you did great while you were on the plan and then didn't know how to maintain the results? That's not the case here, because what we're doing is teaching the patient how to identify, what does my body need? What is the symptom I'm feeling? And what does that correlate with in part of my body? What are the tools Jenn gave me so that I can optimize that, I can correct that, I can support that, whether it's a stress stressful situation, it's a recent illness, whether it's a busy schedule. We have all these different things in life that are going to continue to come up that may need some more support. We go to Washington, we spend the weekend, we drive home, we're home at 5 a.m. We can't get to the other side of that lost sleep, but we can if we can support anything that we're listening to in our body of important nutrients, making sure that our minerals are there, supporting hydration, rest, and recovery. And we'll know exactly how to do that because we'll have those implemented tools and strategy during our process of post-lab, post-answers, and then we'll maintain them with ease. So if you're the person who has done all the right things, is doing all the right things, but things are still off, this is where you need to get started. Our Tier 1, Tier 2 labs are an incredible tool that are driving outcomes that are repeatable, guaranteed, and are getting you the prize that you're looking to achieve. If you're a provider and you're not able to achieve this level of confidence in your goals and helping your patients remove those symptoms that they're experiencing and achieve maintenance, this is the answer for you. So if you're thinking about making your next investment of health, do it with clarity. Our Tier 1, Tier 2 labs were created intentionally, start to finish. You want to be with us for many reasons, but when I think about some of the things that we're getting some pushback on or maybe some questions on, we want to address those really quickly for you. So do you want to bring your own labs in? I can guarantee that they're incomplete. What our providers and standard healthcare are able to test and look at needs to have a specific diagnosis. We're thinking as a functional root cause provider. So we have the opportunity to jump in, order what we want, what we know is going to deliver these outcomes, what we need for answers in order to push you into this next elevated space of healing and recovery and even optimization. When I have someone who brings labs, it just delays that process of me being able to give them the answers they're looking for. If they use a lab on their own, it takes longer to get these results. We've curated these beautiful opportunities with vendors that we know are with testing that we can count on, with answers that are brisk and that we can get our answers collected and jump into our next motions of action more readily. We're not having these delay, this loss of confidence, this loss of steam where we want to make sure that we're jumping into action and we're creating a space where we can have complete answers. There's no stone unturned. We want to make sure that we're in this completely together. So if you're someone who's tried all the supplements, had half the lab work, jumped provider to provider, referral to referral with no answers, make Powell Studio your last stop.